There comes a moment in a man's life when he slowly realizes something uncomfortable. Nobody is coming to save him. Not a mentor at the perfect time, not a lucky break that fixes everything, not a sudden moment where life finally becomes fair. Just time. Moving forward. At first, that realization feels heavy, because somewhere inside, everyone carries the quiet hope that someone will show up and make things clearer. Someone who understands. Someone who guides. Someone who opens the door. But most doors in life stay closed until you become the kind of person who can open them yourself. And that realization changes a man. Because once you accept that nobody is coming, something strange happens. You stop waiting. You stop sitting in the space between maybe tomorrow and maybe later. You begin to understand that the life you imagine, the version of yourself you respect, the peace you're searching for, all of it lives on the other side of decisions you've been delaying. And delays have a quiet cost. Days pass, weeks pass, years pass. Not with disaster, but with slow erosion. Potential that never quite becomes reality. Dreams that slowly lose their sharpness. Ambitions that fade into maybe one day. This is how most lives drift away. Not through failure, through hesitation. And hesitation feels harmless in the moment, but hesitation repeated over years becomes regret. You see it in people sometimes. The way they talk about what they once wanted, the way their voice softens when they say, I used to think about doing that. You can hear the distance between who they were and who they became. And something inside you refuses to accept that ending. Not loudly, quietly, because ambition doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels like responsibility. The responsibility to become someone stronger than your current habits. That responsibility can feel isolating. You notice things other people ignore. You think about time differently. You start measuring your days not by comfort, but by movement. And movement is uncomfortable. Comfort tells you to wait. Comfort tells you there's always tomorrow. Comfort tells you you've already done enough. But deep down, you know comfort is patient. It will happily keep you exactly where you are for years. That's why discipline matters. Not the loud kind people post online, the quiet kind, the kind nobody sees. The mornings when you move, even when your mind feels foggy. The evenings when you keep going, even though the day already felt long. Those moments look small from the outside, but they compound. Day by day, decision by decision, they slowly transform you into someone harder to stop. And here's the strange part. At some point, the struggle becomes familiar. Not easy, but familiar. You begin to trust yourself more. Not because you're always motivated, but because you've proven something deeper, that your effort doesn't depend on your emotions. That's when a quiet confidence begins forming. You don't talk about it. You don't show it off. But you feel it. You feel it in the way you approach problems. You feel it in the way pressure doesn't shake you the way it once did. You start realizing something powerful. Life didn't become easier. You became more capable. That's the difference most people miss. They wait for easier circumstances, but stronger people create stronger responses, and strength rarely arrives dramatically. It grows slowly in the background of ordinary days. Days where nobody congratulates you. Days where progress feels invisible. Days where the only proof that you're moving forward is your own decision to continue. Those days build character, not instantly, but permanently. One day, someone will ask how you stayed so calm under pressure. They'll assume you were naturally disciplined, naturally focused, naturally resilient. They won't see the uncertainty you once carried. They won't see the moments where quitting felt reasonable. But you stayed, and staying matters more than people realize. Because endurance quietly separates those who change their lives from those who simply think about changing. So if life feels heavy right now, if the road ahead looks long, if you're moving forward without applause, good. That's the environment where real strength is built. And once it's built, it stays. Nobody can hand it to you. Nobody can rush it. But once you earn it, it becomes part of who you are. And that's when the realization returns again. This time not as pressure, but as clarity. Nobody was coming. And that turned out to be your advantage.